Hello and welcome. As parents, I think one of our biggest worries is sending our kids out into the world. We just hope they're safe, that they're happy, and that people are kind to them. But let's be honest, the reality of school bullying can really turn that hope into some serious anxiety. So today, we're going to walk through a journey together, one that turns that worry into empowerment. We're going to build a practical, step-by-step guide to help you build a hero right in your own home. It's that nagging question, right? The one that keeps so many of us up at night. We can't be there in the classroom or on the playground or on that school bus. So how do we give them the strength and the skills they need to handle the social challenges that they are absolutely going to face? The answer isn't to wrap them in bubble wrap. It's about building their resilience from the inside out. Let's start by getting a really clear picture of what we're up against. Okay, so first things first, what is bullying really? According to UNICEF, it's not just a random mean comment or a little scuffle on the playground. It's a pattern, and it's defined by three key things. First, there's an intention to cause harm. Second, it's repetitive. It happens over and over. And third, there's a power imbalance. The bully has some kind of edge, whether it's social or physical. And remember, we're not just talking about black eyes and scraped knees. Those invisible wounds from verbal, psychological, and especially online bullying can be just as damaging, if not more so. To really get a handle on this, we've broken it down into 5 clear sections. First, we're going to dig into the roots of the problem. Then, we'll build a really strong defensive foundation with a simple daily habit I call the 11-minute rule. After that, we'll pack your child's response toolkit with real practical skills. Then, we'll map out a clear action plan for what to do when bullying happens. And finally, we'll talk about the most powerful tool in your entire arsenal, your own example. So let's jump right into section 1, understanding the problem. Before we can even think about building solutions, we have to know exactly what we're dealing with. Nailing down the causes and spotting the signs, that's our critical first step. It's so important to get this. Bullying doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's a really complex issue with roots that spread out in a bunch of different directions. At home, things like a lack of attention or witnessing aggression can shape a child's behavior. Society definitely plays a part with all the violent media out there. The school is a huge piece of the puzzle, especially how well teachers and parents are communicating. And then there's the student themselves. Maybe it's peer pressure or just not having the skills to handle big feelings. The key takeaway here is it's never just one thing. So how can you tell if your child is going through this? Well, a lot of the time, they won't just come out and tell you. There's a lot of shame and fear involved, so you have to become a bit of a detective. Look for changes in their behavior, a sudden fear of school, avoiding their friends, a drop in their grades. Those are huge red flags. Listen for those physical clues too, like the constant, vague complaints about a headache or a stomachache. And in this digital world, you have to be extra vigilant if they suddenly become super secretive with their phone or their laptop. All of these are distress signal. Now that we have a better handle on the problem, let's start building the solution. In section 2, we're making a big shift, moving from just worrying about it to proactively defending against it. I want to introduce you to a core strategy called the 11-minute rule, and it's all about creating a strong, resilient foundation right there at home. 11 minutes, that's it. I know, it sounds almost too simple to be true, doesn't it? But this isn't about the amount of time. It's all about the quality of the connection. Think of the 11-minute protocol as a small daily investment that pays off in huge ways, in your child's confidence, their emotional safety, and their willingness to actually talk to you before a small problem becomes a huge crisis. So here's how it actually breaks down. The first 3 minutes, that's your golden window right after school. Put your phone away, make eye contact, and just listen. Don't jump in with questions about homework, just let them decompress. The next 5 minutes, maybe after dinner, that's your practice time. You can turn tough situations into a sort of game through role-playing. And the last 3 minutes are right before bed. Use what's called the highlight-lowlight technique. Ask them what was the best part of your day and what was the worst. It creates a safe space to share, and here's the key. You share your own low light too. It teaches them that everybody has tough moments. Now, this daily connection is so powerful because it helps you build what's called a growth mindset in your child. The difference here is massive. A kid with a fixed mindset thinks, he called me stupid, so I must be stupid. They see the bully as having all the power. But a child with a growth mindset, they think, he called me stupid. That's his problem. Now what strategy can I use to deal with this? See the difference? It's a situation to be managed, not a final judgment on who they are. And that leads us perfectly into section 3, the response toolkit.
Okay, so we've built this foundation of connection and we've got the right mindset. Now we can start filling their toolkit with specific skills. And these are practical, teachable techniques that you can practice during that 5-minute role-playing session we just talked about. The first technique is called fogging, and the name is perfect. The whole goal is to create a kind of verbal fog that makes the bully's insult just disappear. It's a really smart way to take the power out of a verbal attack without making the situation worse. Here's a perfect example. Let's say a bully says something like, "You're so short." Instead of getting defensive, your child agrees with the neutral part of it and then pivots. "You're right, I'm not tall, but that doesn't affect my basketball game." You see what just happened? The power is completely gone from the insult. They agreed with a neutral fact and then showed it doesn't bother them one bit. The bully is left with absolutely nothing to attack. All right, next up in the toolkit is the broken record. This one is for those times when a bully is just relentless, trying to get a rise out of your kid. The goal here is to show calm, unshakable resolve. You're not arguing, you're not engaging, you are just stating your boundary over and over again. The script is simple, but it's firm. "I understand your point, but I don't accept how you're talking. Please stop." And no matter what the bully says next, whether they try to insult, argue, or justify, the response is exactly the same, delivered calmly. "I understand, but I don't accept it. Please stop." This shows the bully, clear as day, that they cannot rattle your child and their bad behavior is not going to get the reaction they want. Now, beyond these verbal tricks, there are other skills that are just as important. Body language, for example, is so powerful. Teach your child to stand tall, shoulders back, make eye contact. It projects confidence, even if they're shaking on the inside. Simple, firm statements like "stop it" can be incredibly effective. And talk about strategy, like where to sit on the bus or where to play during recess to stay near adults. And most importantly, you have to remind them that walking away and telling an adult is not weakness. It is the smartest, safest thing they can do. Okay, so we've built up all these defenses. But what happens if bullying still happens, despite all our best efforts? That brings us to section 4, the action plan. This is your clear, calm process to follow, so you can turn that feeling of panic into productive, effective action. Before you do anything else, before you call the school, before you get angry, before you do anything, you need to look your child in the eye and say these words: "I believe you, it's not your fault, and we will solve this together." This is without a doubt the most important step. Your child needs to know with every fiber of their being that you are their safe harbor and their unwavering ally. After you've offered that crucial support, then you move into action. Step 1, listen calmly and get the whole story. Step 2, document everything. Write down dates, names, exactly what happened. If it's online, take screenshots. This isn't about building a lawsuit, it's about having clear facts to give the school. Step 3, request a formal meeting with the school. Work with them as a team. And finally, step 4, please do not hesitate to get professional psychological support if your child is really struggling. Their emotional recovery is priority number 1. Now for a really, really crucial piece of advice. I know your protective instinct is going to be screaming at you to march over to the other parent's house or confront the other kid. Do not do this. It almost always backfires, and it usually makes the situation at school even worse for your child. Always, always, always work through the official school channels first. Let the professionals handle it. And that brings us to our final and maybe our most important section, the parent's legacy. We've talked a lot about what to teach our kids, but you and I both know the most powerful lessons aren't taught with words. They're taught by example. This single idea is the foundation of everything we've talked about. You can spend hours and hours teaching your kids about assertiveness and respect, but if they see you handle a conflict with aggression or disrespect, guess what? That is the lesson they're actually going to learn. Our daily actions are the real textbook for how to be a person in this world. So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, it's how you handle a disagreement with your partner. It's how you speak to the waiter in a restaurant. It's respecting your child's opinions, even when you disagree. It's showing them that saying "I'm sorry" is a sign of strength, not weakness. And it's about teaching them to be an upstander, the kind of person who helps a friend who's being treated badly, because you model that kind of empathy in your own life. And so we end right back where we started. The fight against bullying doesn't really start on the playground. It starts in our living rooms. It starts with small, consistent acts of connection and respect. It starts with just 11 minutes. The real question isn't if your child will face challenges. They will. The question is, how will you prepare them? So, how are you going to spend your 11 minutes today?